Yo, Almighty Lambo, what's up, bro? You're here quick. I like that. And you like the video. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, brother. How was your week? How you doing? It's always good to see the same faces here, the same guys here every time. And let's get this chapter going. I kept refreshing it all day on TCB, and right around 45 minutes ago or so, yo, what's up, Augustine? I saw that it came out, so I put the update to let you guys know I was gonna be up live in like half an hour, and we're good to go. And I saw the title, and it's titled "The Attempted Murder of a Celestial Dragon," so that's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good one. I can already tell. It was all right. Just got back from a trip not too long ago. Nice, nice. I hope your trip was good. This might be a short one, guys, because not too short, like an hour or so. Because if any of you guys watch football, the Champions League final semi-final game against Madrid and City is in an hour, and I want to watch that. I definitely want to watch that game because it's the second leg. So I don't care if I miss like the first 10, 15, even 20 minutes. If it's a really good chapter, I'll stick around. But I'm aiming for like an hour this time. How you doing? How you doing, Augustine? How was your week? From what I heard already, it's not a crazy chapter, but the biggest thing that happens in this chapter is the biggest thing that's happened in a long time. That's what I've been told. But we'll see. Last time I thought I was spoiled on Sabo's bounty and I was wrong. So, but anyways, let's get into it. People will hop in as we go. Did you guys already read the chapter? Let me know if you guys already read it. But here we go. Chapter 1084. Oh, that's a nice. I like this color spread. We got all the women. We got Bonnie in the back hanging on to the fish's tail. We got Nami front and center, as it should be. Hancock sitting up front, looking peaceful. That almost made me think it was Robin because of her demeanor. But Robin's right underneath her with Vivi, two of the best girls in One Piece. And then at the bottom, you got Tashigi and Rebecca and Sugar. Interesting. And then Shirohoshi. And then at the front, we got Reiju, Ulti, Yamato, Carrot, Perona, and then I forget that one girl's name. Ringo, what's up, Ringo? This is a huge chapter. Augustine says he already read it. Good, bro. Just got out of class. The hype is real. All right. All right. Let's read it then. One Piece Chapter 1084, The Attempted Murder of a Celestial Dragon. Inside Pangaea Castle at the Holy Land of Marijoa. Who took out the guards? And we got Sabo taking out guards. Is that Conquerors? No. He's using his flames. You're Sabo, right? What? Oh, she already met them. Jewelry Bonnie. I think we're both after the same thing, so let's skip the small talk. They broke into the guards' headquarters and stole the slave collar keys. I did hear about Kuma-san having a daughter. I've always tried to keep tabs on Revolutionary Army activity. That's how. I know you're trustworthy. I'll leave it to you guys to get Dad's body to safety. Karasu. Yeah. What the? Froosh. What happened here? Mission complete. Oh, that's Bonnie. She's surprised. Mission complete. Deliver the keys and tell Morley to get Kuma and the others back to headquarters as soon as they're free. What about you, Sabo? And he's got the keys. I'll be right behind you after I'm done. Understood. Be careful. What's your next move, Bonnie? I'm off to Egghead to see whether Vegapunk has a way to restore Dad's mind. And if he can't... There they are. Let her finish her sentence. Come on. That's weird. I could have sworn I saw something. It feels like there are fewer guards than ever around here. We're too short-handed to... It feels like there are fewer guards than ever around here. We're too short-handed to cover a tower this big. Haven't you heard? You can blame you-know-what for that. What's that mean? And then Bonnie telling Sabo, I owe you one. Sabo's quick. Sabo's very quick. Haven't you heard? You can blame you know what for that. What's that mean? You know what is the reason there's fewer guards? What is you know what? Or who is you know what? They're all gone because they saw it. Saw what? The legendary Phantom Room. Bro, what is all this lore we keep getting? Back to back chapters, we got the man marked by flames and his ship. Then we got the God's Knights. Now we're getting the Phantom Room, highlighted in bold black letters. They are all gone because they saw it. Saw what? The legendary Phantom Room. You idiot. Don't talk nonsense like that. Thanks. Eggheads in the New World. We're heading in the opposite direction. Good luck on your voyage. It's a little odd to see a radical revolutionary acting so friendly. Well, we're both determined to save the same person. Yeah, look after my dad for me. Interesting. So she already... Oh. King Cobra is in the room of the empty throne? Did he see Imu? Is that why he got killed? This nigga is sitting right in the middle of the room with the empty throne, facing the throne, talking to the 5 elders, and they're standing up and he's sitting. What is going on? King Cobra, ruler of Alabasta, what have you come to ask? Perhaps I should start from the beginning. As you are aware, the organization known as the World Government was founded 800 years ago, when 20 different monarchs came together. Their families all promptly moved to Marijoa to live as one clan, referred to as the Celestial Dragons, the ones responsible for the creation of the world, and as such, they have ruled over this creation ever since. Internally, the 20 were considered equal, and to ensure that no individual dictator would rise from among them. He knows. King Cobra knows about Imu. That's why he got killed. Internally, the 20 were considered equal, and to ensure that no individual dictator would rise from among them, they installed the empty throne. Each of them placed a weapon around the throne to symbolize their vow to never try and sit upon it. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Maybe that's just what's in the shot. At the same time, new royal families were handpicked to rule the nations that the founders could no longer preside over. Those families are still in power today. At the same time, new royal families were handpicked to rule the nations that the founders could no longer preside over. Those families are still okay, like we saw in what's Sabo's homeland, Goa Kingdom, like the royal families there. None of them were Celestials because it was such a big deal when the one Celestial Dragon came, the one that killed Sabo. But there are royal families there. In order to ensure the smooth transition, all references mentioning the previous dynasty's reign. In order to ensure the smooth transition, all references mentioning the previous dynasty's reign were removed from each of the founders' respective home countries. He's talking about the ancient kingdom. The previous dynasty's reign were removed from each of the founders' respective home countries. What's up, Hank Yang? Enjoy this journey. Seems like we still have many years. Man, I don't know what I'm going to do when One Piece is done. One Piece has been such a journey, man. And the fact that we're still getting lore like we got in Chapter 1 is crazy. In Chapter 1084, 1084 chapters in, we're still getting the same type of lore that we got in Romance Dawn, East Blue Saga. That's crazy to me. Yeah, this chapter is some gas. OP Scan's translation is comedy though. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to read OP. I know TCB is pretty early the last few weeks, so I knew they were gonna come out. I didn't even check if OP dropped it. In order to ensure that smooth transition, all references, not people, references, mentioning the previous dynasty's reign were removed from each of the founders' respective home countries. with the sole exception of Alabasta because they kept the poneglyph. The monarch at the time was Queen Lily of House Nefertari, while her name was immortalized as one of the founding 20. She did not stay to become a celestial dragon. Instead, she was to return to Alabasta to continue her reign, which is why the Nefertari family has continued to act as sovereigns. This also means that only 19 weapons were ever placed around the empty throne. It's all as you say, but what exactly is your point? I can already tell this is one of those chapters where you're gonna want to take your time reading it. I'm in no rush right now. I know I want to watch the game at 3, the City and Madrid game, but I'm taking my time with this chapter. It's all as you say, but what exactly is your point? I've scoured all of my kingdom's ancient text. Who's talking, Cobra? But as far as I can tell, all known accounts chronicling the period after the Void Century have one thing in common. I've scoured all of my kingdom's ancient texts, but as far as I can tell, all known accounts chronicling the period after the Void Century have one thing in common. They're in the different language, right? They're all in that, whatever that language is, the Wano Kuni's language. Her name isn't mentioned once. Chronicling the period after the Void Century have one thing in common. Her name isn't mentioned once. So what did she do to piss off the Celestial Dragons? I guess because she didn't put her weapon down, and she went back home and did not become a Celestial Dragon. Look at how they treated Doflamingo's family when they simply wanted to go back down home. It appears Queen Lily never made it home to Alabasta, and the burden of ruling the country fell to her younger brother. Do you have any record of what became of her? She got sniped on her way there. Why are they showing me Emu right now? And bro, Emu has a crown. We know Emu's a queen. We don't know, but everyone thinks Emu's a queen because Emu has a crown. Is Emu Lily? Oh my goodness. He found. Oh my god. If this is what I think it is. If this is what I think it is, this is the greatest reveal in One Piece history. The greatest twist. Not even twist, just a reveal. With the sole exception of Alabasta, the monarch at this time, Queen Lily of House Nefertari, while her name was immortalized as one of the founding 20, she did not stay to become a celestial dragon. Look at the picture of her. She has the crown. Is that why she marked Vivi? Because it's her relative. What does she care about Luffy and Blackbeard and Shirahoshi when she sees her own descendant? Someone with her blood. Probably looks exactly like her too. Look at this silhouette. That looks like Vivi. I bet she looks exactly like Vivi. So the Nefertari are not all good. The most evil person in One Piece is a Nefertari. She did not hold on. I'm jumping to conclusions. She did not stay to become a celestial dragon. Instead, she was to return to Alabasta to continue her reign, which is why the Nefertari family has continued to act as sovereigns. This also means that only 19 weapons were ever placed around the empty throne. It's all as you say, but what exactly is your point? I've scoured all of my kingdom's ancient texts, but as far as I can tell, all known accounts chronicling the period after the Void Century have one thing in common. Her name isn't mentioned. They tried to erase her from history so no one would know the identity of the person on the empty throne. It appears Queen Lily never made it home to Alabasta, and the burden of ruling the country fell to her younger brother. Joy Boy? Could it be Joy Boy? No, no, Joy Boy would have been gone by then. This is after the voice. Do you have any record of what became of her? And then we got Saint J Garcia. To be blunt. And then we cut 800 years. Bro, it's emo. It's emo. I don't want to keep. I want to take my time with this. They're talking about replacing the original kings that are now on the red line with new royal family. It is the queen. Love the lore chapters. Same Almighty line, but I absolutely love the lore chapters. Lore is like the best thing about One Piece. The two best things about One Piece to me are the lore, and then the Straw Hat moments when they're together on the ship goofing around. Those are the things. Those are probably the two original things that made me love One Piece. Like more than Naruto, more than Bleach, more than Dragon Ball. Like what distinguished it from anything else I've ever seen. 800 years is a very long time ago. It is true that the 20 families, the Nefertari line, did not move here. It is true that of the 20 families, the Nefertari line did not move here. So is this still Garcia talking? However, it was believed that the queen returned back to her country after that decision. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that the details about her motives and journey are lost to the annals of history. We simply do not know. But why is it as he's saying this, they're showing us Imu? It all makes sense now, man. And that's why she stabbed Vivi's thing. And hold on, what were these guys talking about in the beginning about that phantom room? Let me go back to that real quick. They're all gone because they saw it. Saw what? The legendary phantom room. But this room is called the Chamber of Flowers, because I made a video talking about this. This room where Imu is always at is called the Chamber of Flowers. So the phantom room might be where the straw hat is. The giant straw hat. Anyways, let me keep reading. About her motives and journey are lost to the annals of history. We simply do not know. Cobra looks angry. In that case, what is the meaning of D? This guy is out of his mind. Does he not understand the weight of the questions that he's asking in reference to who he's asking it to? This is why Dragon is the most wanted man. This is why Luffy is so wanted. It's because of stuff like this. You can't just be asking this. The fact that you're even you're hinting to them that you're interested in getting these answers, you're already sticking your neck out. You're already putting your neck on the line. But to go up to them, one 1v5 and directly ask them these questions that they've killed people over asking, what is he thinking? He knows they're not going to like this. In that case, what is the meaning of D? Look, they all look pissed now. Look how pissed the guy with the curly the Roger mustache looks. The bald guy with like the birthmark here and the curvy mustache. Why do you ask? The truth is, a short letter penned by the queen has been passed down from one generation to the next. Don't give them your secret. Imagine the best dynasty also has the biggest dictator. Exactly, Ringo. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Imu is listening in with a snail to the right of the panel. Hold on. No, that's just Imu. Imu's always playing with butterflies. Oh. Thank you, Augustine. Good catch. I don't know why I didn't catch that. But I would imagine Imu hears all, probably sees all anyways. The truth is, a short letter penned by the queen herself, Queen Lily, has been passed down from one generation to another. Yo, this might be the best One Piece chapter I've heard so far. Oh no, we cut away. Shirahoshi, Kuma, what's going on? Hold on. Public courtyard, Pangaea Castle. We're still in the reverie. Please stop, please. I beg you. And Kuma is tying up Shirahoshi, but he's being controlled, I'm assuming. It hurts. Someone, help me. Hehehe. If she keeps squirming, don't hesitate, Poppy. I finally, who's calling him Poppy? Yo, who's calling Kuma Poppy? I finally caught myself a giant mermaid. Excellent work, Charlos. Oh no, our beloved princess Shirahoshi. Man, yo, I forget how ugly this guy is, bro. I wonder what she eats. I'm gonna ride you to town every single day, and if you don't listen, you'll know nothing but pain. No, please, someone, anyone, help me. This is bad. Her papa and all the guards are all still in the meeting tower. Quick, before anything else happens. Run away. That's so heartless. We didn't see a thing. Hey, mermaid, did you just say no to me? I won't tolerate such defiance. She's a stranger. Forget about her. It's not like she was going to agree to any of our marriage proposals anyway. Out of the way, you spineless algae. Oh, it's her brother. It's the delegates from Ryugu Kingdom. Don't be foolish. You'll doom your country. Forgive us, Shirahoshi. We only looked away for a moment. Let's go home and never come back to this rotten place. Big brother, you damn celestial dragons. So is this the attempted murder? Do away with the small fry, my invincible slave. Kuma's about to kill this fishman. No, he dodges it. He goes upward. No, wait. All three of them. One of them is on top, and then the two are to the side. Right? Because she has three brothers. Let me see. Yes, it is. The warlord, Bartholomew Kuma. It truly is pitiful to see how you've fallen. But we can't stop now. Let's do it. Ryubushi, Manbushi. Yeah. Cut them, Kuma. Who cares if they're royalty? No one will complain if we bury them in money. Besides, they're just fish. But what does it matter if they're royalty if you're a celestial dragon? Saba was technically royalty, wasn't he? And the celestial dragon just shot him. Shirahoshi, Rebecca, that's the baddie. Yo, did they just call Shirahoshi a baddie? This can't be the real translation. Rebecca, that's the baddie from before. Princess Rebecca, he's the worst. Hey, hey, Mosgard, I can't hit him, right? Oh, I can't. Is that Sai? Or am I tripping? Is that Sai from Dressrosa? Hey, Mosgard, I can hit him, right? By all means, I'll take full responsibility. Or did we already see Sai in Reverie? I can't. Reverie was so long ago. But a royal like you must show restraint, Prince Fukaboshi. Bro, these names are killing me. And he's about to cut this Celestial Dragon. Mosgard, you hit me earlier. How could you? Beep. Kuma, kill him. Man, I want to go back to the lore. What's the difference, Mosgard? We can't just sit back and let him treat our little sister like that. Escaping is easier for them. They don't have a country to think about. They're pirates. Tontata. Hashhoken's secret art. Tontata Hashhoken's secret art. Oh, it's Sai and Leo doing a combined attack. Sir Leo, Sir Sai. I forgot all these characters were in the reverie. Don't do it. He's a celestial dragon. Charles. Boom. Even worse than Luffy's. They gave this guy's head a makeover, just like Don Chinjao. The exact same thing. They gave his whole bro. They turned his whole body into a spring, like Bellamy. His head is completely caved in, and his body's like springing down, like it's about to just pop back up. Tail hammer, drill, dragon, nail. Best duo in One Piece. Look at his face, bro. He looks like Oden when he came out of the water behind Toki, but it's just a shrunken version of that. He does remind me of that though, the way Oden looked when he came out of the water. Ah, Charlos, we're all doomed. That must have killed him. We all saw it happen. That's not an attempted murder though. And I lied. Luffy's is worse. Luffy's was the worst. Luffy's was definitely worse. Luffy's was so bad in the anime he punched him into the manga. Yo, Monir, what's up, bro? R.I.P. Charlos, the true hero. The true hero of this story. Since Luffy doesn't want to be one. They murdered a celestial dragon, and Admiral's gonna show up for sure. Kizaru? He's the one that showed up last time. Stop picking on Kuma-chan. We got Morley. You don't have to listen to anyone's orders anymore. It's okay. Let's go home together. Damn, I didn't realize he was that much bigger than Kuma. This guy's a giant, bro. What's going on? How did a giant get here? Morley, I've got the keys from Sabo. So we got Karasu coming in. Hang on. Is he an intruder? That's Morley. He's a captain in the Revolutionary Army. Okie dokie. Let's head out, Karasu. Damn, I can tell the chapter is about to finish. What is this? What's all these sound effects? What's all these effects going on? Look how they massacred my boy, the Godfather. If anyone knows, straight from Vito Corleone. Word for word. I'm pretty sure it's word for word what Vito said when he saw Sunny's body. Look how they massacred my boy. And then we got Shirahoshi, we got Sai. Okay. Great Imu. King Cobra is still present. What? Lily? Yo. She showed herself to him. Well, we now know Imu is indeed a girl and Imu is indeed a queen. For those that thought Imu was like a dude or something. I thought it was pretty obvious, but Lily, boom, sits down right in front of him. And he knows the identity of who it is. Thump. No hesitation to sit on the throne. Chapter 1084. It's expected. Break next week. Don't do this to me, Oda. He gave us a little bit of the Reverie and then he left for 4 or 5 years. Don't come back to the Reverie like this. I thought we were going to get a little glimpse. If you're going to go all the way in, don't tease us like this. Make it count. Don't give us 2 or 3 chapters. And don't let this be the end of it. And then we come back to Egghead. I swear to God, I'll be so pissed. I will be so pissed. By the end of this, I want to know exactly how Cobra dies, exactly how Sabo and the Revolutionary Army escape with Kuma, and exactly what is going on with Imu and the Gorosei. But when I clicked this chapter 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago, however long ago the stream was, 29 minutes ago, the last thing I would have ever thought is we were going to get lore on Imu. Imu's character. That's crazy. I'm just going to say it, and I mean this. I genuinely mean this. For what I personally love about One Piece, this is without a doubt the best chapter of the year. I know Shanks one-shotted Kid, and me as a huge Shanks fanboy, Shanks being my favorite character, and I was telling everyone that shit was gonna happen. That was a great moment, but that's kind of like agenda stuff. When it comes to just genuinely enjoying the story of One Piece, like what I truly love about One Piece, and what I think most of us really love about One Piece, this is without question, without a shadow of a doubt, by a landslide. It's not even close. This is the best chapter of the year. And someone told me that the biggest thing in this chapter was gonna be the biggest thing in recent memory. But the chapter itself is going to be average compared to the chaos we got in all the other chapters. I disagree. I think this entire chapter is phenomenal. Again, it doesn't have to be action packed. Like if you were to tell me it's not an action packed chapter, but it's probably better than those ones, and I went in with that expectation, I would not be disappointed right now. But yeah, they were right. This the biggest thing in this chapter. Imu's reveal of who Imu is crazy. The amount of theories, bro. The amount of theories. Do you guys understand how many theories are gonna come out of this chapter alone? With Queen Lily, I gotta make a theory. I gotta make one just for the sake of making one. This is what I love about One Piece, man. I can sit here for like 3 hours right now with you guys and just discuss this. And what does this mean? What happened? What could have happened to make Lily make this decision? Because Lily was originally going back to Alabasta. Lily seemed like the most good of the 20. How did she end up being the most evil of the 20? Is it for some kind of greater good? Do they got some kind of hostage or something? Do you got some kind of leverage on her? No, because Imu rules everything. 10 out of 10 chapter is an understatement. I would say it's a 20 out of 20 chapter, Augustine. This 100% ain't the end. We gotta see Sabo witness Imu, otherwise this is pointless outside of the... Yeah, I forgot about that. Sabo witnesses Imu. Kind of weird how they keep mentioning specifically how many swords there are, but there's like way more than 1920. I saw less. I counted 16. Yes, sir. Nature Boy, we back with a W stream. Yes, sir. Yes, we are. Word for word, bar for bar. Yeah, it's exactly like The Godfather. Exactly like Vito. I died when I saw that part. Look how they massacred my boy. It's so good. If any of you guys don't know that scene, just go watch it right now. It's so good. That whole movie is one of the best movies ever made. But that scene where he goes and sees Sonny's body. Favorite chapter since Shanks one-shot my boy. Bro, I love Shanks to death. This is 10 times better. This might be... There's very few times in One Piece where we get drops, whether you want to call them twists. I wouldn't say this is a twist because it didn't twist in a different direction. It just dropped a huge reveal. Imu's introduction was a twist. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't think there's been a bigger reveal / twist since Imu's introduction. The biggest 3 that I can think of since I started reading One Piece on a weekly basis, so since Dressrosa, end of Dressrosa, or like Zoe, the 3 biggest were all in the Reverie. The 3 biggest reveals that I can think of are the giant straw hat, Imu being the king of the world sitting on top of the throne, and now Imu being a Nefertari and the queen of Alabasta from hundreds of years ago, which again not only confirms that Imu is a woman and that Imu is a queen, but strongly suggests that Imu is immortal or has some kind of like immortal powers. Ringo says, remember what I said about Luffy always being the first. Now Celestial Dragons are open bar. I think after this break we get three straight chapters. I hope so. Usually that's how it is. Usually it's 3, then a break, 3, then a break, 3, then a break. Kind of weird how they keep mentioning specifics. Oh, I read that one. This is 100% in the end. We gotta see Sabo witness. I read that too. Yeah, we do. I didn't think about that. Peak lore. Absolutely peak lore. Yeah, also, where the F is Sabo at this moment? He's with Bonnie. He's probably on his way to this room, considering in the newspaper we see him standing on top of Nefertari Koba's body, which I'm assuming is in that room with the throne, probably exactly where he's sitting right now. So Sabo's standing on top of his body, and Sabo also witnessed Imu. So what I'm assuming is going on is Imu was overhearing everything that Cobra was saying, realized that this dude knows more than he should, and that he pretty much cracked the code. But he didn't witness anything. He was just smart enough to do the math on everything, and he was really getting to it. He was getting very close to the answer just by thinking out loud in front of them. So Imu was like, all right, you know what? This guy has to go. And since he's already going to go, I may as well show myself to him. I may as well let him at least know the answers before he dies. So then she comes out, she sits like she just did. And then I'm assuming maybe they talk, maybe they don't. Even if they do, I don't think we're going to see it. She offs him. Sabo comes in right as she offs him, just enough to probably see the glimpse of Imu walking away and see the 5 Gorosei there. And then he comes in and he gets framed. That's what I'm assuming. Here comes the Alabasta top 1 wave. Yep. Just like Skypiea. All of a sudden, I guarantee you, bro, when Skypiea was going down, not that many people were saying Skypiea was great. I'm still sticking to my take that Skypiea is the worst big arc in One Piece, aside from Fisherman Island. I don't care what happens after Skypiea that connects to Skypiea. It's not a part of Skypiea, so it doesn't matter. When you say an arc is great, you mean like it's when you are sitting down, either watching or reading that arc. How well did you enjoy it? We can get so much lore for Wano in the future, and I think we probably will, because Wano is so important. It's not going to affect the Wano arc. It's going to affect the island of Wano and how interesting of an island it is, but not the arc itself. So I don't care. But yeah, I definitely see it. People are going to see Alabasta top 1 now. Ringo's right. The same way people did it with Skypiea after all those reveals came years and years after Skypiea. When I look back, I enjoyed Skypiea because it was the Straw Hat dynamic. Like I said, I love that so much. But when you compare, Alabasta is one of my favorite arcs pre-time skip. Water 7 and Ace Lobby are the best arc aside from Marineford. Impel Down is again one of the best pre-time skip arcs. Thriller Bark is an underrated arc, I would say. It's not one of my favorites, but I think it's really underrated. I'm not going to count like Amazon Lily and those small ones. Punk Hazard's underrated. I think it's much better than Skypiea in terms of like as you're watching it, but I know that's a controversial opinion, or at least it's not the majority opinion. Dressrosa is definitely better. Dressrosa, if you take away the pace of Dressrosa and you just look back at it without the pacing, it's up there. It's really up there. It could be top 5. Dressrosa's story was phenomenal. The way they managed to make a warlord seem like a Yonko with his own. What other guy has a crew that big and has time to focus on each crew member like that, and how strong they are and how they each affect his plan? Like without Sugar, there's nothing. Without Diamante, it doesn't work. Without Pika, it doesn't work. Without Senor Pink, it doesn't work. Oda is back in his prime. If only he had hiatus before Wano, it wouldn't be a mess. You know what? If Wano had to take the hit for the rest of the story to be amazing, so be it. So be it. I say so be it, because One Piece right now is like king of manga. I don't even read manga anymore. I just read One Piece, to be honest, and Record of Ragnarok. That's about it. And I'll read Kingdom every now and then, but it's the king of manga. I don't care. I don't need to read anything else. It's too good, bro. It's too good. I'll be a casual and I'll say that. Okay, so there's 16 swords next to the throne, but the lower level has like 50. Yeah, but I think they're talking about the ones up close. Where do you see? Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, but they're not talking about that. They're talking about the ones up close. I would assume these 50, if anything, could be the royalty that came after them to rule over their homelands, because now they're celestial dragons in Mary Jo, right? Like they said earlier on, they said they had to find. Hold on, what's this? I missed this. Luffy holding a skull that says King, and he's holding a sword, sitting on treasure. One Piece. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Considering we get the chapter of the lore of the king or the queen of the world. Emu's introduction was also a rocks chapter, right? Or am I confused? No, I think. No, I don't think it was. Maybe it was the one where Garp was talking about rocks for a bit. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't remember much of the Reverie in terms of like the order of what happened. All I know is that the final chapter was the one with Emu. The one it ended with Emu. And then I think the one before that is the one with Shanks. I think the one before that might have been Sabo with like the Night Guard. I'm just going off of memory from like 2017, 2018, however long it's been. I haven't actually reread the Reverie yet. And it's only like 4 chapters. I probably should. If this is really Lily, then she has to know about Pluton being in Alabasta, of course. Of course. She's ancient. She's literally ancient. Chapter was hype. What's up, Danielle? From now on, I'm calling Oda the Rock, because goddamn it, this man is cooking. Do you smell what Oda is cooking? So you think Sabo sees Nefertari die or he shows up when he's already dead? I think he shows up as he's dying. So like the wound is already inflicted, the damage has been done. He's probably falling, his body just hit the ground, boom. Emu's halfway out the door and he sees a glimpse of someone. Probably something like that. Because if Sabo saw everything, they would make sure he's dead. They would 100% make sure he's dead. Word, you just explained it. What did I explain? It's probably a while ago. Personally, I enjoyed Skypiea because I think it expands the world building very well. Also alluded to so many things. I can understand why it's low tier, but it's not worse than Longland. No. It's definitely not worse than Longland, but I don't count. Okay, when I say major arcs, I mean Alabasta is the first major arc, then Skypiea, Water 7, Enies Lobby. Oh, I forgot about Sabaody. Wait, first is Thriller Bark. Sabaody, fantastic. Sabaody. I don't count Amazon Lily because it's not a major. Even Impel Down, I know the manga wasn't big, but I watched the anime. That was my experience, and it was a major arc in the anime. So Impel Down, Marine Ford. So that's 8, and then the time skip, and then we come back to Fishman Island, Punk Hazard, Dressrosa. Zoe. We will count Zoe for now. I think Zoe was good. I think Zoe. Okay, you know what? Skypiea is better than Zoe, for me. Whole Cake, Wano, Egghead. So 9 plus 7. So 15, 16. 16 major arcs. I would say Fishman Island is the worst of those 3. I mean, of those 16. And then is Zoe, and then is Skypiea. But that's me. And I know Zoe had amazing lore as well, but it was pretty much all one chapter. The I forget what it was called. Inside the Whale. 918 or something. That was a chapter that really stood out. Aside from that, it was great, but it wasn't like phenomenal. Yo, what's up, Cosmos? It's all good, bro. It's all good. I'm glad to see you're here because this was a special one. This was a special chapter and a special stream. I personally always had Skypiea top 1 and Alabasta 2 though. I have Alabasta probably top 5 arcs, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, a lot of that is nostalgia. A lot of that is Crocodile being my favorite villain and one of my top favorite characters in the whole story. There was a point where he was basically my favorite character, but aside from Crocodile, just fanboying over Crocodile and Alabasta being the first major arc, so like the nostalgia that comes with it, the way it went, there was nothing really special that stood out. Even though it did everything, which I like. I like when things stick basic but execute very well. You don't always have to. Basic can be good if it's executed very well. And I think Alabasta is a perfect example where the arc is a very basic structure, but it's executed very well. Very few mistakes, very tight. Pacing is well. The character development is well done. Storytelling is well done. The lore is well done. The antagonist is well done. The fights are well done. Notice how I said fights and not fight. Because people can gas up Luffy and Kaido all they want, which I don't even understand. I don't understand how people think Luffy and Kaido is better than Luffy and Katakuri or Luffy and Lucci. I don't understand. But apparently a lot of people think it's the best fight in One Piece. Still, every single other fight in Wano, including Law and Big Mom and Kid, was ass. Was straight ass. And Zoro and King, it wasn't ass, but it should have been more. The next best fight was probably Sanji and Queen. So that's why I like Alabasta, because Alabasta executed damn near to perfection. I would say to perfection. Because, like, think about Sanji versus Mr. 2. Zoro versus Mr. 1. Nami versus, I think, not Miss All Sunday. That's Robin. Miss Wednesday or whatever. Usopp and Chopper versus, I don't remember, Miss Merry Christmas and Mr. 4 and the dog. Bro, Usopp's moment in that fight. Alabasta was executed to perfection, man. So it didn't need to be anything more than it was. But then there were other arcs where Oda took a risk. Water 7, I would say Oda took huge risks. He went so far out of his comfort zone with Water 7 that if it missed, a lot of us would be saying it's the worst arc in One Piece. But because he hit a home run with it, with the stuff like Luffy versus Usopp, that's a risk, bro. Robin leaving, that's a risk. A lot of things in Water 7 were very, very, very risky. The plot twist with Rob Lucci and all of them, very risky. Who knows how people are going to receive that, because we weren't really invested in them before that, right? But all of these things that I just mentioned hit. They were a home run. So Water 7 is a top 3 arc without question for me in One Piece. The only 3 arcs that you can say are the best for me is Water 7, Enies Lobby, or Marineford. And to me, you can put them in any order, because those are the 3 arcs that I would give a 10 out of 10. Everything else is like there are other arcs like Sabaody is like 9.5 out of 10. Whole Cake for me is probably like a 9 out of 10, 8.8, 8.9. It gets close to that realm. But those 3 are special. They're untouched. But here's the thing. If you include every arc, I don't even think any of those are my favorites. Like, I like Arlong Park better than I like Marineford. I like Baratie better than I like Marineford. I like the post-Marineford, the ASL flashback, more than anything else in the entire story. But I don't count these things because they're not major arcs. They're more so like smaller moments. But yeah, Alabasta it ages so well too. Even though there's no foreshadowing, every time you go back, you can just appreciate it more. The fight between Luffy and Crocodile, the OST that plays in the final moments where he punches through the desert Spada and just starts gatling him right in the... It wasn't the gatling, I know it wasn't, but he was just punching him nonstop. He goes through the bedrock. So good, man. And it was a very unique environment as well. Don't forget that. The fact that they're in a desert, right? Sorry I'm late, G. Chainsaw Man, Undead Unlock, Sakamoto Days, all worth reading. Oh, yeah, I know. Chainsaw Man, when... I don't know if the season is done, but bro, I remember like 3-4 months ago, everybody was talking about it. As the episodes were dropping weekly, everyone was talking about it. And I'm the kind of guy, I've always been my whole life, where like the more people hype something up, the less I want to get invested in it. Like, I remember when Breaking Bad was on in high school, bro, everyone was talking about Breaking Bad. Same thing with Game of Thrones, that I just maybe not want to watch it. And then it was only when those series ended that I ended up watching them. When years after they ended and everyone stopped talking about them, I was like, all right, let me give it a chance. And then loved Breaking Bad. Game of Thrones, I quit halfway. I couldn't. It was too much. But Breaking Bad, I was like, yo, the hype was worth it. But I'm always like that. So, I don't know. I think when the hype dies down, I might get into Chainsaw Man. But I got to finish reading Record of Ragnarok and Kingdom first. I really have time for anime and manga anymore, and I need to get back to it. Sosa's got a theory. Hey, I have a theory about Nami. I'm just going to put it in the chat. So in chapter 699 cover art, Nami is the only one without armor. Maybe seeming like a princess or queen. Then in this chapter cover art... Hold on, let's see what he's talking about. Also, let's pray Madrid wins tonight, guys, and makes it to the finals. Beat Guardiola for the second year in a row. Okay, so we got everyone is in a. We got Usopp fully decked out. Luffy. Wait a second. Luffy looks exactly like he does in this one. He's holding the sword. He's got the crown, the jewelry. Chopper, Sanji, Frankie, Luffy. I mean Zoro, Robin, Brook. You're right. Nami's the only one. But in this one, she's not in it. It's just Luffy. And then there's the page with the girls. I don't know why Ulti's looking that thick. Since when was she that thick? But I don't really see like what is it about Nami that I'm looking for in 1084. Her shirt says Weather Queen. Ah. It could be. It could be. Even this thing with Luffy where he's holding the skull that says King. And then he has the three skulls up front that kind of look like Blackbeards. Wait a second. Blackbeard, Jolly Roger. It does kind of look like Blackbeard's Jolly Roger. Interesting. Very interesting. There's so many theories that are going to come out of this. I can't wait to see them. She was lost as a child and found by her adoptive mother after a battle with pirates. I don't know, just a theory. I like that theory so. But I think it needs more to it, right? It's a good start. It's a start to a theory. Chaitanya Vase says, as Pluton was in Wano, Uranus might be in Alabasta. Owned by Lily, buried somewhere. Well, Alabasta have the poneglyph that tells you where Pluton is, right? So they would know it's in Wano. As Pluton, is it where Pluton is, or is it how to create Pluton? No. Enies Lobby was how to create Pluton with Frankie, and the Cuddy Flam stuff. That was the blueprint for Pluton. The poneglyph in Alabasta was talking about Pluton and where it is, I think. As Pluton was in Wano, Uranus might be in Alabasta, owned by Lily, buried somewhere. It could be. Gotta head out, enjoy the football. I'm gonna watch the Heat game later today. I'm probably gonna watch the Heat game too if I have time. But see you, Augustine. Thank you for joining. I don't think the Heat can beat the Celtics again though. They're it's gonna be the same as last year, and this is gonna be the same as last year too. Same as last year: Heat versus Celtics and City versus Madrid. I'm thinking she has it right now because what else could have destroyed the Lucia other than the ancient weapon? Unless Emu herself has the power, which I still think is the case. Emu probably has the water devil fruit. I'm a Fishman Island Long Land appreciator. I appreciate Foxy. I really appreciate Foxy. I think Foxy and the entirety of the Davy Back fight, which I guess is the whole Long Land arc. So yeah, I do appreciate that arc because I really loved the Davy Back fight, and I loved Foxy. I don't know if I laughed that much in the whole series in one arc as much as I did in that arc, and I thought it was filler at the time. I didn't even think it was canon. Also in chapter 699, there's 9 of them versus perhaps 9 holy knights from 333 Evil Theory tweet, also sitting on a dragon representing Celestial Dragon. Zoro has a devil on his chest as well. Whoa, Zoro almost has a Celestial Dragon mark. Look at the 3. Interesting, yeah. So, what's his name? Is it 333 Evil or is it just Evil? So he came up with that theory. Haven't watched it yet. I'll be right back. Yo, John Phillips is here. What's good, bro? How do you think things will play out in this final saga? It's hard to say, bro. It's so hard to say because there's so many different ways the story can go right now. Even the theories that I made, Some of them I got right, but some of them are being proven completely wrong right now. Or at least so it seems like. Because the story keeps throwing us curveballs and goes in a way that none of us expected. Like, I don't think a single person on this planet, even though there are hints like Emu stabbing Vivi's poster up among all the posters, I don't think I've heard a single person anywhere, YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, online, anywhere in person, suggest that Emu could be tied to the Nefertari family or to Alabasta. So to think that she is just crazy, because it's like now we can look back and some things make sense. We know that Alabasta did not put their sword on the throne, and we know that Alabasta did not choose to be celestial dragons. We just assumed that their member, rather than being a celestial dragon, went back to Alabasta and brought the Nefertari family to a lower status. Which, if you talk about the whole family, yes, they are at a lower status. But that individual Nefertari, that we now know as Queen Lily, was not necessarily below the other celestial dragons, but far above everyone in the entire world because of whatever decision she made. Now, I did make a theory, the first big theory video that I made, the Joy Boy theory, where I said the 5 elders probably came to Emu and suggested to Emu to be their queen, and that they would give her these powers if she helped take down the ancient kingdom. Obviously, some parts of that don't add up right now, because we know this all happened after the ancient kingdom were taken down. But I guess it depends. It's so possible that she played a role in the ancient kingdom falling. But some things seem right, like them and her negotiating that position rather than her just having that position. But to answer your question, Ringo, I don't really have much guesses right now as to how things will play out in the grand scheme of things. Like, I gave my opinion on how I think Blackbeard versus Shanks might happen and how that will turn out. The most recent video I dropped on Big Mom, if you guys haven't watched that, watch that. How I think Big Mom is going to come back and die very soon. The stuff with Joy Boy I did. The stuff with Rocks that I did. But overall, it's hard to say, man. The stuff with why Pangea Castle's the key to One Piece, I would say watch that video, because that one, I still strongly believe in that one. Maybe a Devil Fruit. The issue is in Ancient War, all 3 ancient weapons were used by Joy Boy. It would be weird if it was divided. 2 with Joy Boy and 1 with Celestials. Have you seen Doc's Afro Tail theory? It was really substantiates the Long Ring Long and Land arc. I have not seen it, no. But I think I know the one you're talking. I think I've seen the thumbnail of it. I don't remember hearing that the ancient weapons were used by Joy Boy, to be honest. Maybe I forget. Yeah, I haven't heard that too. I don't remember hearing that as well. I just remember hearing the ancient weapons were weapons that were designed to be able to take down islands at will. And they're from that time. They're from the Void Century, around the Void Century time, right? But I don't think they've ever said that Joy Boy used them. I could be wrong. The thing about One Piece is it slowly gives us this lore, right? Like, if you were to ask me now, when did they first mention the ancient weapons? I wouldn't even know. My guess would be Enies Lobby, but it would be Alabasta. Maybe even before then. They slowly give you lore throughout these arcs, bit by bit, so it's hard to remember all the details. Man, this was a good chapter. This was a really good chapter. Like the stream, guys. If you're still in here, like the stream. And I think, unless you guys want to talk some more, feel free to ask some questions in the chat. But otherwise, I think I might end it. It's just in time for the game too, but I don't mind sticking around. I could wait. We can chill another 15, 20 minutes. I have a feeling it's going to be a slow start to the game too. I love the Godfather reference in this chapter. Look how they massacred my boy. So good. But he was the one that whooped his ass earlier too. That's the thing. But I guess how much damage did Sai and Leo really do to Sharlos though? That's the question. Like, is that permanent damage, like Don Chinjal style? And the reason I ask that seriously, as a serious question, is because it's Sai that hits him, and it's almost very similar to the Don Chinjal stuff. And it looks like they're using armament hockey, or at least one of them is, because we're seeing a whole lot of like, I don't even know what to call this, like flashes or beams or whatever this is, even though it's not black. So is he gonna be permanently like squished now? Because that would be pretty funny. And this final panel, bro, Emu just comes walking up the steps. They all turn back. Great Emu, King Cobra is still present. They don't even try and stop. The first thing they say is her name. Great Emu, King Cobra is still present. And then look at his face. What? Lily. And she sits down. I wonder if Oda had Emu planned since the beginning of One Piece. I really do sometimes, because One Piece was meant to be about the Yonko. We know that much, but this is such a big secret to reveal. This is the biggest twist in One Piece history, was Emu's reveal back in the original Reverie arc. So everything about Emu is always going to trump anything else when it comes to just lore and pure lore. Like, look at this final panel. It just gives me goosebumps just looking at it. Did Emu start the world government? Let's read what he says again. What have you come to ask? Perhaps I should start from the very beginning. As you are aware, the organization known as the World Government was founded 800 years ago, when 20 different monarchs came together. Their families all promptly moved to the Meridroa to live as a clan, referred to as the Celestial Dragons, the ones responsible for the creation of the world, and as such they have ruled over their creation ever since. Internally, the 20 were considered equal, and to ensure that no individual dictator would rise up from among them, they installed the empty throne. Each of them placed a weapon around the throne to symbolize their vow to never try to sit upon it. At the same time, new royal families were handpicked to rule the nations that the founders could no longer preside over. Those families are still in power to this day, like Sable's family in Goa Kingdom. I guess people like Fisherman Island too, like Neptune and Fisherman Island, like these royals, technically it wasn't their kingdom. It was Celestial Dragons. Like, what's his name? Like King Riku. Because it was the Don Quixote's back in the day. It really was Doflamingo's land. He was supposed to have inherited it. But when they came together as Celestial Dragons, they moved away from their lands, and they just assigned people that were not relatives to now. They just declared them royals from that day on. And so King Riku technically isn't really a royal, and Doflamingo technically is. And technically, if you're gonna go by the old tradition and how things were back in the day, how things were passed on by blood, like heirs. They had heirs had rights to like kingship and rulership. Doflamingo really was supposed to be the ruler of Dressrosa. So things like that. The only rulers that we see that would have been rulers regardless are the Nefertari in Alabasta. Everyone else, from Fisherman Island and Neptune to Riku and Dressrosa to whoever else we've seen a lot of royals, to probably even the Kozuki are the Kozuki. They're as ancient as it gets. But everyone else is like, they were appointed royals. At the same time, new royals' families were handpicked to rule the nations. That the founders could no longer preside over, those families are still in power to this day. In order to ensure the smooth transition, all references mentioning the previous dynasty's reign were removed from each of the founders' respective home countries. Okay, I misread this the first time. I'm glad I reread this. So what he's saying is, for example, when the Don Quixote decided to become Celestial Dragons, they gave Dressrosa and the right to Dressrosa as a kingdom. They gave it over to the Riku, and they erased the Don Quixote's name from having any ties to Dressrosa and from having any ties to its history. so that the transition would be smooth and people could respect the Riku as the true kings of Dressrosa, and they wouldn't even know about the history of the Don Quixote ruling over from before. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I misunderstood this the first time I read it. In order to ensure the smooth transition, all references mentioning the previous dynasty's reign were removed from each of the founders. So basically, some of these, like this Moscar and Charlos, maybe they were the ones that owned Fishman Island. It's very possible, whatever their last name is. Who were the ones that owned Goa Kingdom? These celestial dragons really did own these lands. Still not convinced Dragon gonna die. I stick to Sakazuki killing him. No way. It's not even convinced. I'm almost sure Dragon's not gonna die. He's been safe the whole story. He's endgame. He has to make it to the end. He's one of the characters I'm most confident is going to survive until the end of One Piece. It is intended, but not explicitly said. Ancient Kingdom, ancient weapon. Excuse me, guys. And the game has started. 6 minutes in. 0-0. I feel Garp is more likely to die than Dragon. I don't think any of them are. I don't know. Me personally, like, I see where people are coming from with Garp, especially. But he's not that character. Like, there's nothing. His character dying won't have a big enough impact for it to be worthy of him dying. Like, the return on investment would not be worth it, like it was with Ace. What is Garp dying going to contribute to the story? He's not even that important, like, in terms of, like, all the pieces to the puzzle right now that are moving. He's not really going after much. All he wants is Kobe back. Give him back Kobe and he'll leave you alone. And we already know Kobe is untouchable. Kobe is as untouchable as Luffy and Zoro. He's going to make it to the end of One Piece. So one way or another, the Marines are going to get Kobe back. So what's the point in Garp dying trying to get Kobe back if he's just going to return anyways? Characters that die are characters that they are an obstacle that right now and they need to be removed, like Shanks. Because if Shanks dies, Blackbeard is going to be much more ruthless. Akainu is going to be much more merciless. These characters are going to be far more remorseless, and they're going to be able to really go to that next level. But every time they try and do that stuff now, Shanks is there. Stops Green Bull. Stops Kaido. Stops Akainu at Marineford. Stops Blackbeard at Marineford. He constantly stops them from going too far. So he has to die, in my opinion. What's your guess for the D? I go for Dream, and it makes sense for Luffy and Blackbeard. The D, I think D stands for Devil, and I think D was labeled. So this is what I think. I made a video on this. I think Joy Boy's dream is Roger's dream, and it's Luffy's dream. And it's to gather every single person in the world to live in one piece of the world. One island, one land, whatever. One piece of the world, hence One Piece, under their banner as their Nakama. So basically, to put it in short, Luffy's dream that I think everyone keeps laughing at is that he wants the entire world to be his Nakama. He wants 10 crew members to sail on this voyage to become Pirate King. But once he becomes Pirate King and he's done his voyage, he wants the world to be his Nakama. And if Joy Boy did this and he was in the process of doing this and he built the Ancient Kingdom with all these different people, that's why we see Saul as a giant is a D, Luffy is a D, Law, who looks much more different than Luffy. Luffy and his family are much more like dark skinned. Law is more light skinned. Ace is more light skinned. So like there's different types of people. Blackbeard is very different from all of them, but they're all D's because I think he was bringing in different people and different races into his kingdom. And then once they took down Joy Boy, they gave all of these people an initial so that throughout history, throughout hundreds of years, the Ancient Kingdom could always be able to keep track of who's their enemy. So as soon as they know Luffy's a D, they know that however many years you go back, his ancestors were members of the Ancient Kingdom. Somewhere down the line. Law, same thing. Blackbeard, same thing. So I think they gave them the initial of devils because after they defeated them, they were like, these people are devils. Give them the initial of D for devil, so that hundreds of years from now, we still know who they are and we can still see them as enemies so that they don't blend in with the rest of the world, because they are the ones that tried to build the ancient kingdom against us. That's what I think it is. I don't think D is a name that they gave themselves. I think D is a name that was given upon them. Because again, they're constantly called the enemies of the gods. They're constantly called devils. So hence D. Which could also tie into devil fruits. Also, they are only called weapons by celestials. If they used it, they would have erased it from history. Only good PR remains. Permanent brain damage, but hopefully dead. Oh, you're talking about Charlos? I just got done reading. Where we at? We're just talking, John. We're just talking. Yo, what's up, Max Moon? We're done the chapter. We're just talking. There's so much to talk about here, bro. The lore is crazy. So we're just talking about the chapter, and we're keeping up with the semifinals Champions League game. Thanks, Sosa. I'll be watching the VOD later tonight. Thanks for the entertainment nature. Thank you, Cosmos. I'll see you later on. Peace, bro. The chapter was actually more hyped than the spoilers for me. Why do you guys read spoilers? Why would you do that to yourself? I'll never understand. Charlo's Gear 5 confirmed. Next chapter is going to be the heartbeat. But instead of a Joy Boy, it's going to be Imu, the original Celestial Dragon. It's going to be Zunisha coming in and being like, I hear Lily's heartbeat. And then St. Charles is going to come in. Cobra said D is penned by the queen. Most important detail in the chapter. Hold on. I know what you're talking about, but I think I kind of went by that pretty fast. Where is that in the chapter again? Hold on. Let me reread what he said here, because this is so interesting. They installed the empty throne. Each of them placed a weapon around the throne to symbolize their vow to never try to sit upon it. At the same time, new royal families were handpicked to rule the nations that the founders could no longer preside over. Those families are still in power to this day. In order to ensure the smooth transition, all references mentioning the previous dynasty's reign were removed from each of the founders' respective home countries. With the sole exception of Alabasta, of course. The monarch at the time was Queen Lily of House Nefertari. Look at this image. I'm telling you, she's going to be Vivi's identical twin. Imu is going to look exactly like Vivi. I'm telling you. While her name was immortalized as one of the founding 20. And Vivi is going to play a far greater role than we all think. I think we're all underestimating how great of a role Vivi is going to play in the end of the story, now that we're at it. There's a reason she was a straw hat that didn't sail with them. The only straw hat that didn't sail with them, but was still considered a straw hat, and we knew was going to be relevant later on again through the whole series. And there's a reason that Imu stabbed her poster, and there's a reason that now that we're in the final saga and we're done Wano, she's coming back into the story. Queen Lily of House Nefertari, while her name was immortalized as one of the founding 20, she did not stay to become a celestial dragon. Instead, she was to return to Alabasta to continue her reign. They didn't say she did. They said she was too. Which is why the Nefertari family has continued to act as sovereigns. This also means that only 19 weapons were ever placed around the empty throne. It's as you all say, but what exactly is your point? I've scoured all of my kingdom's ancient texts, but as far as I can tell, all known accounts chronicling the period after the Void Century have one thing in common. Her name is not mentioned once. So I guess the ones before the Void Century would have her name, but after it won't. So it's kind of like the other kingdoms and how they erased the names of the previous rulers. But since they kept the same monarch, the same last name, the Nefertari, there was no reason for them to do it. So why is her name erased? Is what he's getting at. He basically, through just sheer genius, cracked the code. He didn't get all the answers, but he found, he answered a lot of it. If he already knew that there was a mystery person sitting on top of the throne, then this Everything he just thought of right now would clearly tell him who it is. But he didn't even know there was someone on the throne. And he still came this far with his theory. He's the best One Piece theorist. Is King Cobra. King Cobra is the top One Piece YouTube theorist. To be blunt, it appears Queen Lily never made it home to Alabasta, and the burden of ruling the country fell to her younger brother. Is he going to be relevant? Do you have any record of what became of her? To be blunt, 800 years is a very long time ago, and she's listening to all of this. It is true that of the 20 families, the Nefertari line did not move here. However, it was believed that the queen returned back to her country after that decision. Lies. They know the truth. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid the details about her motives and journey are lost to the annals of history. We simply do not know. In that case, what is the meaning of D? Why do you ask? The truth is a short letter penned by the queen. What is the meaning of D? The truth is a short letter penned by the queen has been passed down. But this is him talking from one generation to the next. This is not them answering. This is him explaining why he's asking. They asked him, "Why do you ask?" So he's in the middle of explaining it, and then it cuts to Kuma. A short letter penned by the queen has been passed down one generation to the next. So in this short letter, he found something that we are not yet aware of, but that somehow led him to the answers. I do think Luffy will achieve the dream of all Yonko he beats. Big Mom wants a giant tea party and Kaido a giant war to take down Celestial Dragons. Anyways, I'm going to call it a stream, guys. This was a 10 out of 10 chapter. Phenomenal chapter. Let me know in the comments what you guys rate this chapter. Let me know in the comments. And let me shout everyone out real quick. Sosa, thank you. Ringo's, thank you. Max Moon, Vase, John Phillips, Cosmos, who was here earlier. Who else was here? Daniel Bello was in here. Augustine was in here. Almighty Lambo was in here. First one in here. Monair Cabby was in here. Hank Yang was in here. Thank you all. 15. John says 15 out of 10. Vase says 10 out of 10. It was a phenomenal chapter. Absolutely phenomenal chapter. And sucks that we get a break, but there's going to be a lot of theory videos. And if I'm home and I'm not on the road for work, if I'm home for enough time, there's going to be some videos. There's definitely going to be some theory videos about this one. I might just do another stream just discussing this. After I've had a few days to think about it, we might do another stream and just discuss it. But thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.